All right, let's dive back in. We have a session that's all about collaborations and baby steps, and we have bookends on this session to talk about some of the projects we've been doing. The first one is Nike FuelBand. Again, everybody with Nike FuelBand, where are you? Yay, and thank you to people who helped make that happen. When we were arranging this, I worked closely with my sister Linda on a bunch of projects, and it was just a natural fit for her to be the point person on this project. So please welcome to the stage to give us the results of this pilot, Linda Fogg Phillips. So Linda, Linda's my older sister. She has 8 kids that are all her own, and she's a pretty amazing person. She's an endurance athlete. Whoa, what just happened? Wow, see, miraculous things happen when Linda's around. She's an endurance athlete, somebody I admire a lot. Right now, she's wearing how many measurements? This was a surprise to me. What was it? Yesterday or something, we're meeting people, and you said, oh, I have the Up, and I have Fitbit. Tell us about how many devices are on you right now.
I have 5 different tracking devices on me right now. In fact, I have 5 different tracking devices on me right now at various parts of my body. I'm not going to pull them all out because I'd have to disrobe like I do when I go through the metal detector at the airport. I get a lot of looks. But anyway, it's really interesting. I'm doing basically a comparative analysis about these devices, and I'm coming up with some interesting information.
Tell us what we said about Nike Plus FuelBand.
Well, Nike Plus FuelBand, Nike was so generous and donated 50 devices to the lab. And we offered those to many of you that are at the conference. And boy, they went like in a heartbeat. As soon as we sent that email out, we had 50 of you that volunteered, and we sent those devices out. And so over the course of the last week, we didn't tell these participants what to do. We just sent these devices, and that was part of the plan, is to see if they could intuitively figure out how to function, how to operate with these devices. And basically, they're going to give you some feedback as to what their results are and what their feelings about these devices are. But I want to tell you a little bit about our initial results, and then I'm going to turn the time over to a couple of the participants. So one of the questions we asked was, how often did you wear the Nike FuelBand? And as you can see by these results, the majority of the participants wore these bands either all day or most of the day and night, so that they were pretty consistent with that. The next question we asked is, did you share your results with others? And this sort of surprised me, because the FuelBand does have a built-in technology on the app where you can post your results to Twitter or to Facebook. But still, the traditional method of talking to friends won out, as you can see here. The next question was, would you continue to wear the Nike FuelBand if it was available to you? And overwhelmingly, the participants said yes, that they would. The other question, and this is where I really focus, is on improving health in the context of the household. And many of you that were here last year saw many of my children as a mobile health family. The question that I was interested in asking is, would you use this in your house? Would others in your household be interested in using this? And here again, the overwhelming response was a positive response. So those were our results from our very short little pilot program that we did. And as BJ said, we are going to continue on with these bands through the lab. And he mentioned those of you that are interested, you can probably contact me and let me know, and we'll make some arrangements for you to use these in some of your projects. But I'd like to go ahead and have my participants come on up and share their thoughts and feelings real briefly on what their experience was with the band.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bogdan from San Diego State Graduate School of Public Health. First of all, thank you, McKesson, for the ticket. I really, really appreciate it. So when I first signed up for the Nike FuelBand, I was thinking to myself, do I really need it? Because I already had a Fitbit. And I'm glad I did for 3 main reasons. The first one was, if any of you have done the Tiny Habits, BJ talks a lot about having an anchor. And for me, when I first started, it was, okay, well, it's on my hand, so I'm just going to watch it when I wash my hands. So I'm going to see how many steps I have. And actually, it became an obsession because I always have my hand in front of me. So I actually ended up looking at the band probably every 5 or 10 minutes when I was writing, when I was eating, when I was driving. So that was a really cool thing when we're talking about behavior change and just those tiny things. The second thing, and if you've seen on the band, it has a nice little illumination type strip LED. When you press the button, you actually get to see where what progress you've made. So you're in the red, are you in the yellow, are you in the green? And that actually helped me walk more because now I know how far I am from the outcome. And then the last thing is, and for any one of you who are part of the millennial generation, and I know there's not a lot of you, so I feel a little bit nervous here, it looks cool. And I like the look cool, and the fact that it has a watch in it, and I can press the button and it lights up and I see what the time is, that's all I needed. So that was my experience with it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim. Let me read, because I only have 90 seconds to do this, but I did think about this. I like the concept, but I didn't like the execution very much. First, the positives. The cool factor, I totally agree. This is cool. It's simple, it's sleek, it's black, it's elegant, it's a watch without a face. I mean, how cool is that? All my guy friends thought it was wonderful, too. The other part is the locator factor, I guess I'd call it. To me, it's a constant reminder not of what I have to do, but of what I'm already about, I think. And maybe I'm an outlier here, but it's pretty much like a personal statement of what I think is important to me. So I thought that was relevant, and I liked it for that reason. But there were some negatives, too. First of all, I guess my feeling of accomplishment in the physical realm is about how I feel, and not about the kind of data that I generate. And so that seemed a little goofy to me, having a character jump up and down on the screen and applaud for you. I'd rather get that from people that I know and friends that I interact with. And after a workout, I'd rather share the experience with other friends and get the feedback from them rather than sit alone by myself in front of the screen and download the data and appreciate that. So maybe that's just a function of who I am as a person. Also, the relevant factor, it didn't track the kinds of activities that I do. I expend a lot of calories every day working out, doing resistance training, interval training, plyometric training, and unless you're moving your arm particularly, you're not going to track steps. So I found that not particularly relevant to me. And the website I also found a little cumbersome to navigate around. I mean, this is Nike. I'm not wearing it, but this is a Nike brand. It's cool, it's elegant, it's sleek, it represents who they are and what they want you to be able to do. But the website's just kind of glitzy and flashy, and it's hard to navigate around, and so I found that a disconnect. In terms of the baby steps, I would just suggest that they make the site simpler to use and maybe figure out a way to track other kinds of movement. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Wilson. I work for the Department of Health and Human Services in Washington, D.C. And for me, one of the things that was really useful for me about the FuelBand was that it was very easy to use. And you think of those baby steps, about the fact that it was really easy to set up. It didn't actually have a lot of behavior changes sort of in the short term for me, and the biggest behavior change was actually wearing the device itself and just getting it on my body. But that really small baby step of getting me to use a new device is actually really important, because if you think of when I started to use it, I could see over time how that actually could have an impact on my long-term behavior, and I could compare not just what happened during the week, but week to week and month to month and year to year. So that fact of giving that little baby step of changing my behavior, of having a new device on my body, was pretty big, and the fact that I could see those long-term impact over time. The one thing that I didn't really like about it, though, when I think about sort of the ease of use, was the fact that it seems like I was developing sort of a data island, and that it wasn't going to be connected, at least wasn't apparent to me, how it was connected to other data I might collect about myself or want to track about myself. So even though the ease of use of the actual physical object reduced the barrier of entry to using the device, the fact that it was disconnected from other things in my life actually raised the barrier of entry a little bit. Thanks.
Hey everybody, I'm Steph. I'm sad I had to give that back to Linda. Thank you for the opportunity to use it for a week. I will offer up the disclaimer that I hate tracking. I hate it with a passion. I think it takes all the fun out of practicing health. I am not a quantified selfer. My biggest challenge in using this device was remembering to put it on. So I hung it on a hook with my keys. So when I left my house every day, I remembered to put it on to make sure it got on my body. I really, really appreciate this device for the fact that it completely eradicates the need to self-report. I think that is a huge step in the right direction for taking away the need for us to enter our own behavioral data. So I joined Weight Watchers a couple months ago, and for the first 2 weeks, I was really good about logging my points, and I lost 2 pounds, and for the next 3 months, I didn't track at all, and I've lost 0 pounds. So I think that that's fun to think about. And also with the Nike FuelBand, the UI is beautiful. I did not use the website at all. I did everything on this, and I'm thrilled with the design. It's really gorgeous and really easy to use, and the setup was really easy. So it's passive, which I think all of us need to take into consideration in a big way. And I'm sure that I wasn't here yesterday when BJ talked about all the simplicity factors, but I think the Nike FuelBand pretty much hits on every single one of those, which is really great. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Roger Lamb. I'm with Kaiser Permanente. I just have one very, very quick point to make. Others have covered the usability aspect of it, but I think the mindfulness that David talked about this morning was really key for me, because after using it during the conference, there are long breaks. I've talked to a lot of very interesting people, but this morning I was reminded to really go out and take a walk, so I made use of the break time to take a walk around the campus, because I had this device on me for the last week, and it was just that little trigger to get me to do and create, hopefully, a new habit for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there you have a whole array of experiences and feedback on devices such as the Nike FuelBand and the one that we just tested. And I think Roger hit the nail on the head. It really comes down to mindfulness. And mindfulness allows us to then iterate and design behavior change in a positive manner. So I again want to thank Nike for giving us the opportunity, and it'll be fun to see how we use this in the future.